for as rare a title as it is today, it is way more known and sort of accepted today than it was 25 years ago. I think 25 years ago, the simple answer, I mean, back then, like, it was pretty much only probably, well, it had to be more than Guy Kawasaki, because I can't imagine I was the second evangelist, but there definitely weren't a lot of them. And I remember reading his book back then and, you know, reading everything I could about him. I think the reason I got that role or that title at that time was I had done some things at a trade show to basically bring a lot of attention and enthusiasm to our booth that I would rather not say exactly what it was. But it was unique. It was substantive. So, you know, it wasn't just yelling and screaming or streaking, you know, or something like that. But it was kind of, no one would have thought at the time, I was probably 21, 22 years old. I was a political science major. So no, first time I looked at the internet ever was at a friend's computer to find out where I was going for the interview for this, what was really an internship at the time. And so they took me to this trade show in Chicago. I did this stuff, and basically they're like, and then I was getting ready to go back to school in the fall, and they said, no, we'd love to keep you. And they made me a full-time offer, and my title was Technology Evangelist. And I think at the time it was probably, this is someone with a lot of passion and enthusiasm, but who we don't really know has any technical chops. I didn't at that point. And so it sort of made sense then. And then I sort of learned quickly about the product, how it worked, things like that, and sort of evolved into a sales engineering role, which I loved. So fast forward to today, like I was a seller at Microsoft for 2 years. I liked it. I kind of took the role primarily because I had a couple mentors that felt that I should get some experience as like a bag carrying, quota carrying salesperson. Because even though I was a sales engineer with a quota, it's not the same. I don't think they're that much different, but they are a little bit different. And so I spent 2 years at Microsoft doing that, and I liked it, but I didn't love it. Like I missed the demoing and the presentations and things like that. And this dinner that we will get to actually started at Microsoft even before I did it with 6sense, but I'll explain that later. So again, when the CEO he just threw out this sort of like showman role, when it came to kind of the conversations with talent around the actual offer, it was actually our head of talent that said, hey, I was at Adobe and we had this evangelist role. What do you think about that? And I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds perfect. You know, remembered that I'd had that title before. So like, I don't even know that I would have thought of the title had it not been for the head of talent. And then, you know, all your podcast has done is make me long for the title of Chief Evangelist. I am a product evangelist now, which I think fits kind of where I am. You know, if I were the co-founder of the company or something like that, I probably would be the Chief Evangelist. I'm not. Certainly my aspiration at this point would be to be promoted, you know, into a Chief Evangelist type role. But yeah, I mean, these days you don't have to do that much. You definitely have to explain to friends and family that aren't in tech, but people in tech, by and large, kind of have a sense for what the role's about.